Today we are going to study about the world population. World population is not distributed evenly over the Earth's surface. When we study about population, it means that we see that how people are distributed over the Earth's surface. And world population is concentrated in few areas and very sparsely populated in some areas. These are the few countries which are highly populated. China is the largest population country in the world. India is at the number 2. Now Mexico is also included in this list. When we study about population, density of population is a very important measure to know about the population pressure on the land. So it is the ratio between the number of people to the size of land. And we measure it in persons per square kilometer. Density of population is highly variable all over the Earth's surface, and generally we divide into three different areas. Areas of high population density, where population density is more than 200 persons per square kilometer. There are a few areas like northeast part of USA, northwestern Europe, southeast and East Asia, where China and India are located. Second part is area of medium density, where 11 to 50 persons per square kilometer are located. So, Scandinavian countries in Europe, Western China, Southern India are example of such areas. Third area is area of low density, where less than 1 person per square kilometer are located. These are the extreme areas where population is very low due to extreme climate or very rugged terrain. Now we'll study about the factors which influence the distribution of population over the Earth's surface. We divide these factors into three types: geographical, economic, and socio-cultural factors. Geographical factors are the physical factors which directly influence the population distribution. The first geographical factor is the availability of water, which is the most important factor for life. Without water, life is not possible. And for all the important economic activities, we are dependent on water. Second geographical factor is landform. People prefer to live in flat plains and gentle slope where life is comparatively easier. It's easy to do agriculture and other economic activity, easy to develop transportation and communication network. Third factor is climate, which is the important factor because of people's choice. They prefer to live in the areas of comfortable climate. Soil is other important geographical factor which influence the type of agriculture. In economic factors, minerals, urbanization and industrialization are important factors. Urbanization leads to concentration of population at one place. In social and cultural factors, some areas attract people which belong to a particular religion or that place has cultural significance, like people in Varanasi or in Mathura. They prefer to live in that place only. Sometimes government offer some policies or provide some incentive to people to live in a particular area, especially if government want to relocate people for political reason, like Chinese government has relocate Chinese on Tibet plateau so that Chinese can become a majority in that area. Population growth refers to the change in number of people in an area during a specific period of time, maybe a year or a decade. This change can be positive or negative. If we see this change in terms of ratio or percentage, that is known as growth rate of population. Actual growth rate of population is the difference between birth, death, and immigration and emigration. The natural growth rate is the difference between birth and death only. Positive growth rate happens when birth rate is more than death rate or there is more immigration in that area. Negative growth rate takes place if population decreases, maybe due to more deaths than births or maybe due to more immigration from that area. So the major components of population change are birth, death and migration. We called birth and death rate as crude birth rate and crude death rate. Along with birth and death, migration is the most important factor of population change. So when people move from one place to another, the place they move from is called the place of origin and the place they move to is called place of destination, and this process is known as migration. This migration can be permanent, temporary or seasonal. It can be from rural to rural areas, rural to urban, urban to urban areas or urban to rural areas. So immigration is when people move into new place, and emigration means where people move out to a new place. Causes of migration. People generally migrate for a better life. They seek better life, a new phase of life. That's why they wish to leave their place of origin. So we divide the factors into two types: push factors, which are negative factors which work on the place of origin and make the place of origin seems less attractive, like unemployment, poor living condition, unpleasant climate, maybe disasters. Pull factors are the other factors which are positive factors and which make a place more attractive. So this is the place of destination which looks more attractive because of better job opportunities and living conditions, stability of life, security, and maybe prosperity. Now we'll see the trends of population growth all over the world. Just after the evolution of agriculture, population growth has increased tremendously. Before the agriculture, this growth rate was very less. But with agriculture, settled life was started, and after agricultural revolution, this growth rate is continuously increasing. When we study the world population, doubling time is very important to find out that in how many years population is being doubled from the base year. Population change is very important, and small amount of population increase is desirable in growing economy to utilize the resources well. But beyond a certain level, it can lead to different problems. Population decline is also a matter of concern. It indicates that resources that had supported a population earlier are now insufficient to maintain the population. When we study about the population and the growth of population in a country, demographic transition theory is very helpful to explain. So this theory is used to describe and predict the future population of any area. It tells that population of any region changes from high birth and high death to low birth and low death as society progresses from rural, agrarian and illiterate to urban, industrial and literate society. These changes occur in stages which are collectively known as demographic cycle. The first stage has high fertility and high mortality, and people reproduce more to compensate for the deaths due to epidemics and variable food supply. Here living standards are low, medical facilities are less, that's why birth rates are high and death rates are high and birth rates are also high. Life expectancy is low. So 200 years ago, all the countries in the world were at this stage only. In the second stage, Death rates fall, but birth rates follow it gradually. So fertility remains high in the beginning of certain stage and declines with time. But due to the time gap between the declining in fertility and mortality, a huge net population added to the base population, and it leads to increase in population. Third is the last stage where fertility and mortality both decline considerably. Here population is either stable or grows very slowly. The population becomes urbanized, literate, and has high technical know-how and deliberately controls the family size. So most of the developed countries in the world are at this stage now. Thank you.